What's up everyone, China Second here at the Shanghai Bike Show, bringing you day one of the footage. All of the halls are absolutely packed this year. Last year's event was cancelled, so it is rammed this year. We've got new group sets from Sensah, we've got stuff from L-Twoo. There's a crazy bike from Sava. It's going crazy. Let's go and check it out right now. So here over on the Sava stand, we have the Dream Maker. Obviously 2 years ago on the in-color stand, they had a concept version of this bike, but now it's in the flesh, made of carbon fiber. The one on the in-color stand 2 years ago was just 3D printed, and now it's good to see it in the flesh, so to speak. So carbon fiber frame, carbon fiber fork, carbon fiber handlebars, and you can see the integration with the main focus being on aerodynamics. They've got a few different builds here. I can see one with Dura Ace, one with 105, but a super cool looking bike. You know, if you want something different for the cool ride, for the group ride, you show up on this and you're going to be the hot shit. There's some very cool details like the little fairings over the disc brake calipers, and in general just looks like a very clean design and the way it flows through. Obviously trying to adjust the stack on this thing I think would be near impossible, but if this thing fits you, you're going to have a hell of a cool bike. So I've got one here in my hands now, a lot better to get a good look at it. I was just talking to one of their product managers about it and I just weighed this. I think it was 7.4 kilograms for the whole bike with a Di2 Ultegra, which obviously isn't the lightest group set in the world. I think if you swap over some parts on this, you can get it under the UCI weight limit. They've got carbon spokes on their wheels here, obviously helping them drop a few grams, but the front of this is just super clean. Like, yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but this looks like riding a bike of the future. It looks like, you know, you can get in a TT position on here. It looks like there's a stop built into the front fork to limit the steering. I wonder how they do that. I'll ask them in a second. Obviously, if they do it like some of the other brands do, you're going to end up messing up the inside of the bike. I was asking about how do you adjust the stack and the reach, and basically they said for the bar section they've just opened a million different molds for different stacks and different reaches. So yeah, super interesting. Apparently there's 4 different sizes. This is a size large. It doesn't look like the biggest large I've ever seen, but obviously not a problem for me because I'm a short ass. But yeah, super interesting to see what they do with this. They say they are putting it into mass production, and he tells me their final versions will be even lighter than this. But I was surprised at how light this is. I thought this setup at the front would be super heavy. So yeah, really cool to see a brand like Sava pushing the envelope and bringing out new cool stuff. Okay, so here at the Vast store, Vast obviously are working on their magnesium frames. This is one of their concept frames that they built up, but they're really pushing the envelope of what you can do with magnesium. So the frames on this is just 1 kilogram. They've got one over there that says like 1.02 kilograms for the frame set in a size 54. So there's no specific model name for this yet. Apparently it's just a prototype frame set. They're testing what they can do with the technology and stuff, but it's looking very clean. All the welds looking pretty smooth from magnesium frame too. Obviously magnesium is not an easy material to work with, and yeah, Vast, they're doing good things with magnesium. Hopefully I'm going to go to their factory and have a look around how to make these things in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Okay, here we're at the Seeker stand. I gotta say, I saw this paint job online and I fell in love. This is an absolute beautiful paint job. Pictures don't do it justice, so it looks even better in the flesh. I'm not a disc brake guy, as you guys know, but I could definitely see myself riding one of these. So this is obviously the Seeker Exceed, the ROC version, the super light one. Before you've seen it in lots of paint jobs, but for this year, they've got some new paint jobs out. Obviously Seeker, you've all heard of them, you've seen them on Cam Nichols' channel and stuff. But yeah, super lightweight frames, aero, UCI approved, fully internal, all that jazz. I'll get the numbers for a complete frame set in a second. But yeah, super lightweight frame, and now it looks good too. So yeah, I could definitely see myself riding one of these. What do you guys think of this paint job? Let me know in the comments down below. And I just asked, this paint job adds a little bit of weight, but you're still under 900 grams for the frame set in a size M. So in my size S, I think I can do a pretty light build with this. Looking forward to getting my hands on one. Now this is really cool. Apparently these are the world's lightest Thru-axles. So for a pair of these Thru-axles, we have just 31.6 grams. These are for a Pinarello spec apparently. So the main shaft of the Thru-axle is carbon fiber, and then on the end for the thread, you've got aluminium. But it's not bonded with glue or epoxy, it's actually mechanically bonded together. That's something they have a patent for, and something they've been working on for a few years. So These are definitely not pricey. Apparently a pair of these comes in at about $200 US, but if you want the absolute lightest Thru-axles in the world, these are for you. They have all different specifications for different bikes. Obviously, if your thread pitch is different or your thread length, they can just change this alloy on the end, but it's got a built-in washer, so you're not going to mess up your frame and stuff. Apparently you can tighten these down to 19 Newton meters, which should be enough for any bike to stop your wheels falling off, whatever. They've done all sorts of testing. They can take hundreds of kilograms of stress before they snap or whatever. But yeah, if you want the lightest Thru-axles in the world, you've got to look up Overfast, and they're 31.6 gram Thru-axles. So yeah, today's coverage brought to you by PandaPodium.cc. If you don't know what PandaPodium.cc is, it's what I've been working on for years. Basically, you know, for these years I've been showing you all this cool stuff out here, and you guys always ask the same question: where can I buy this stuff? Now, PandaPodium.cc is the answer to that question. I'm going to take all of the best things that I see out here in China, put them on a website, give you guys good service, ship it straight to your door, bada bing, bada boom. We're not going to carry any crap. There's only going to be good quality products there. We're going to stand behind everything we sell. If I wouldn't ride it myself, I'm not going to sell it. So if that sounds like something you're into, PandaPodium.cc, check it out in the description down below. The website's in beta at the minute. We've got hundreds, literally hundreds of products that I haven't put up just yet, and a few things are a bit rough and ready. We're out here at the Shanghai Bike Show, so also replying to your messages will be a bit slow, but thanks for supporting us and thanks for checking it out. Let's go back to the show. And here we are at the Sava stand. So Sava, obviously we stock their stuff over on PandaPodium.cc. They've got basically their full range here. So at the top here, we've got their tri-spoke wheel. This front wheel in disc brake weighs just 790 grams and a super aero profile on those spokes. Again, in stock over on PandaPodium.cc. Next shelf down, we've got their range of carbon fiber cranks and carbon fiber chain rings, also with or without pound meters on the Spider if you like. The range of hubs. One thing I love about their hubs is this purple anodizing finish on the free hub body. I like that, even though you can't see it when the cassette's on it. It's nice to know it's there. Obviously, to go with their cranksets, they have their own range of bottom brackets to fit different bikes and different sizes. The axles themselves on this are DUB standards. So yeah, all of the bottom brackets are also the DUB standard. Again, you saw these in the Taipei video, but these things are just 320 grams for the crankset arms and the axles. So if you build up the crankset fully with their crank arms and their carbon chain rings, it's about 500 grams for the complete crankset. That is super, super light. And it's not a weight weaning product, it's also super stiff. They did some tests, stiffer than Dura Ace cranks as well. So you got the lightness, you got the stiffness, what more do you want? And Sava also have the wheel sets. Again, we showed them in the Taipei video, but now they're in stock and selling over on PandaPodium.cc. This one, 50mm with carbon spokes, just 1,260 grams. Of course, we need a free hub sound test. Awesome, love it. Also, Sava have their super lightweight bottle cage. Let's see how much it is. I'm drunk. Let's see how much it is. 14 grams for the bottle cage. So yeah, super light. Looks like it grips the bottle quite well. Yeah. Here on the in-color stand, we have an update to the Sky Pivot crank. I've been using the Sky Pivot on my SLC for like 2 years now, but now they've updated a bit. So now it's easier to install and easier to remove, and they've improved the stiffness a bit, but the weight has remained the same. So yeah, new Sky Pivot. Also, there's still two versions, one with a 24mm axle, one with a DUB axle, and also now there's two versions for the crank spider interface. You've got your 8-volt SRAM axis interface, and you've also got an Eastern style interface. So now you're free to use it with more different brands of power meters. So again, the Sky Pivot cranks, another option if you're after a set of carbon cranks. Also here we have another in-color product. It's their cassette that they're working on. So this is a 12-speed cassette from 11 to 30 teeth, weighs just 199 grams. So yeah, nice to see more options for cassettes out there. Personally, I like a black cassette. It's easy to keep clean. At 199 grams for an 11 to 30, it's super light too. Here we are with a brand new brand called Mac SL, and this is their flagship wheel set called the Toga. Now this is actually built up with Tactic Racing hubs. As you guys know, Tactic Racing are the super high-end hubs that you usually find on Princeton's and stuff. So this wheel set in this specification weighs just 1,380 grams. So a super, super lightweight wheel set, but it's also not cheap. It's 21,000 renminbi, which in US dollars, let me think, that's But yeah, it's really interesting to see these more Chinese brands using more high-end hubs. I think this is the first Chinese brand I've seen build wheels with tactic racing hubs. So yeah, new brand, Mac SL, looking forward to learning more about them. Now here we are on the Sensah stand, so it's what you've all been waiting for, Sensah's fully hydraulic disc brake group set. They're calling it the Sensah Empire Pro HRD, which I'm guessing stands for hydraulic road discs. Yeah, you can see what they've gone for. It's kind of similar to the earlier versions of SRAM where the HUDs are a bit bigger. I'm guessing that's where the reservoir for the oil is, and that's where the master cylinder is. But they've got it in 11-speed versions or 12-speed versions. There's a gravel version. Every version you can think of they've got. So no electronic version here today. It's all mechanical shifting, but fully hydraulic disc brakes. The lever throw seems pretty small. So obviously the first versions of the L-Twoo group sets had really long lever throw. The lever throw on these seems a lot more reasonable. The shift levers a bit wishy-washy. I'm not sure if this is the final version or not, but it looks like there's a bit of optimizing to do with the fit of the levers. But yeah, you know, more hydraulic road brake group sets, more choice for consumers is always a good thing. And yeah, the Sensah Empire Pro. Also looks like they're launching their new rear derailleur for gravel. So this one's actually branded as Sensah. So as I alluded to earlier, so Sensah now have a new brand, or they're rebranding to Sensah. I'm not sure what's going on. But here, this can take up to a 52-tooth cassette. You've got a chain stabilizer in here to keep the chain under control. Super, super tight. So if you're riding gravel, you're not gonna have any issues with chain drop or whatever. Also seems pretty light. I don't have my scale here to see just how light, but I'll get one of these in my hands in the workshop as quickly as we can, put it on the bike and see how it rides. Okay, so up on this trainer setup here, they've got one set up here, so check out the shifting. The shifting seems the same as the old Sensah stuff. So Sensah stuff has always had good, crisp shifting, no problems with the shifting. Obviously the problem before has always been with the brakes, but now we've got fully hydraulic brakes, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know which one's the front one, this one. So yeah, lever throw, very short lever throw. Looks like, you know, if you're in the TT position, you can get a really good grip on these things. In the riding on the hoods, I've got pretty small hands, my fingers can reach around comfortably. In the drops as well, 2-finger braking, 1-finger braking, it seems it's all good. 1-finger shifting as well, down 1 gear, down 1 gear, down 1 gear, and up 3 gears at the same time. So yeah, looks like Sensah's new group set, pretty good. Despite the clutch being super heavy, the shifting's actually pretty light. You can see I'm shifting this with 1 finger just fine. Yeah, looking forward to trying this out on the road. It's the new HRD group set from Sensah. It looks like here on this bike that I was just riding, actually, I was riding it, I thought the saddle was pretty comfortable. It's a 3D printed saddle from Honri. So Honri are one of these brands that seem to take lots of inspiration, let's say, from lots of Western products. But yeah, this saddle, I just rode it for a second or two, felt really comfortable. I didn't notice until after I finished riding, it's actually 3D printed. So yeah, before 3D printed saddle, super expensive. Obviously, I assume this is going to bring the price down a bit. Okay, over here on the L-Twoo booth. So the RX12 from last year, the mechanical version, obviously on the internet you've seen some people, their shifter here snapping. Now since then they've actually updated this. This is now a different carbon fiber, a different supplier, so it no longer has that snapping issue. Also inside the shifter they've updated some of the small parts just to make the brake feeling a bit lighter on the hand. So some small refinements going on. Like I say, with some of these brands, the first batch of stuff don't always recommend you buy. Wait for the second or third batch when they've worked out some of these issues. On RX12 has now worked out these issues. Because it's now worked out these issues, I'm now also selling it on pandapodium.cc. So if you go on pandapodium.cc, you can buy this and you'll know that it's the updated version without the shifters that can go snappy. So RX12 updated, lighter brake feeling and no snappy on these levers. It's about to start pouring down with rain, so it's going to be a wrap for today, but we've barely scratched the surface of what's out here today. Come back tomorrow for day 2 of footage. I've seen a bunch of crazy stuff. It's all going to be in the video tomorrow. Subscribe if you're not already, give the video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you like the best, and don't forget to check out pandapodium.cc. Okay, China Cycling out.